came with the idea of this structure has done a lot.
Among the millions of people forced to flee their homes in recent years, many have ended up in camps, where tents have been the go-to solution for decades. Adapted to temporary housing, tents are very often used for years as the average time spent by refugees in camps increases steadily. A tent lifespan is 2 years at the most, and replacement costs rapidly rise to unexpected levels. More important though, living conditions in high or low temperatures are very harsh under a tent. Safety and privacy are compromised. Heating and cooking needs create serious fire hazards, and there's no sound insulation at all. Living under a tent not only creates stress, but negates a basic human right, intimacy. Life Shelter was developed in collaboration with NGOs and universities to answer all the issues raised by the use of tents. It's a modular concept that can accommodate various needs, from small families to large classrooms. The walls provide good sound insulation and protect against cold and hot weather. The overall shape has been designed to resist high winds and earthquakes. Entrance doors can be locked, thus increasing security and privacy. Furthermore, the curved panels can be built locally, creating a new source of income. With their typical 20 years plus lifespan, shelters which are not needed anymore can be dismantled, the panels straightened and used for isolating traditional housing. Natalie is working for Oxfam. Let's hear what she thinks of Life Shelter.
It's not only about cost benefit, not only about durability, about being environmentally friendly, it's also about the dignity that it brings to a family living in a solid shelter where they can feel comfortable as compared to living in a tent that can collapse anytime in winter, or where it's cold and where you can't lock your doors and where you don't feel comfortable.
Used successfully since 2013, Life Shelters is a cost-effective and sustainable solution to ease the life of millions of refugees. Berat Kiamili is Albanian. He used to live in Macedonia, but a regional conflict forced him to seek refuge in Turkey.
Actually, when I went to Turkey, what they asked me was papers. When you are a foreigner, all matters is papers. If you don't have papers, no one can help you, even NGOs.
Berat spent a whole week queuing up to get his papers. This gave him plenty of time to think of a solution to the problem he and many other refugees were facing.
As young change makers, we started writing proposals, and one of the proposals was to give online papers to immigrants coming to Turkey. And today, the website that we started has 10 million users, which is higher than the population of Switzerland.
Berat went on to develop an app, Migport, which builds bridges between refugees and locals. The app not only brings direct help to refugees, giving them easier access to information and other services like education, it also creates data at very low cost. This data is precious. It can vastly improve the way NGOs, international organizations and governments spend the huge amount of money dedicated to migrants. After spending years as a refugee in Turkey, Berat is more than ever convinced by one thing.
There is a way for integration using technology.
Migration is often associated with life-threatening issues, but when leaving their homes, migrants also lose easy access to their own financial assets. Leaf Global has a great solution to safely move money across borders, avoiding the dangers of carrying cash when on the go.
There are over 68 million refugees in the world today, and another 100 million living in crisis. Often their only option to hang on to savings when forced to flee is to carry cash, which is extremely dangerous, inconvenient, and expensive to exchange. Leaf Global FinTech provides financial services to refugees so that they don't have to carry cash while in flight. Leaf safely stores and transports assets across borders, all accessible through a mobile device, no smartphone required. Leaf converts mobile money through blockchain technology into stable investments that can be accessed no matter where a refugee goes or how long it takes to get there. By creating a virtual bank, Leaf eliminates the need to carry cash and the high fees associated with sending money across borders. Friends and family across the world can contribute into the customer's account. Blockchain plus biometric authentication make the platform extremely secure and transparent, in addition to being instantaneous and inexpensive. Leaf doesn't store value in cryptocurrency, so customers are hedged against volatility. At the same time, Leaf makes revenue like a bank. The Leaf team brings expertise across financial services, technology, and the refugee crisis, making them uniquely suited to solve this problem. Leaf ultimately creates an economic identity for customers, enabling economic security for the stateless and excluded. Visit leafglobalfintech.com to learn more about virtual banking beyond borders.
As we've seen, migrants are facing a vast number of problems, but there's one particular issue that's often left aside, that of mental health. Being forced to flee from home can have devastating psychological consequences. Born in Giza, Egypt, Shezlong was created by Ahmed Abulhaz to help those in need to get appropriate mental health therapy online. The confidentiality of consultations is guaranteed. This greatly encourages patients to seek help, especially in cultural environments where mental problems are denied or considered a spiritual crisis. Na Takallam means we speak in Arabic, and there's no doubt founder Aline Sarah is the best ambassador for Na Takallam.
Today, over 65 million people are forced to flee from their home. Within that number, about 20 million are qualified as refugees, and only 1% of the global refugee population will get resettled to a third country where they are actually able to restart their lives. So we're looking at a mass number of people who are completely left in limbo, and millions of them are highly educated. Na Takallam connects refugees to remote language opportunities in the language sector, such as tutoring and translation. And the goal is to give an income to the unemployable, who are mostly displaced people who have crossed borders and are in countries where they don't have a work permit. We hire them and we find remote opportunities such as teaching or translating documents. So it's leveraging their native language skills to access an income, regardless of their status. Since inception, we've dispersed over $500,000 to refugees. We've had over 4,500 unique users on the language learner side. We've worked with over a dozen university partners and have been present in over 75 schools around the world. The vision for the project as we grow is to revolutionize the language sector through refugee employment, leveraging the freelance economy, this trend of digital nomadism, for refugees who are forced digital nomads. We really believe that beyond the language service, beyond the business, we're changing people's minds and building bridges rather than walls.
Na Takallam user base is steadily growing, leveraging on technology to provide a better life to migrants while reducing cultural gaps. Seedstars and its partners are playing a major role in helping all the innovations we've just seen become a reality. We hope you enjoyed this episode of The Mag, and stay tuned for the next episodes to discover hard-working and creative young entrepreneurs that have seized some tremendous opportunities in emerging markets.